Ladies and gentlemen, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, Cynicalex. Now that I've got your attention, I was planning on doing a follow-up review on Blade with a CTP of Rage, and I still will in this video, but doing so made me realize what I've sort of come to suspect from the development of content in Marvel Future Fight. That's sort of like a fancy way of saying they're at war. The CTPs in MFF are at war with each other. And now more than ever, with the amount of high-level content that you want to be able to bang out and clear, you need to be very careful which CTPs you give to which characters, because by giving Blade a Rage, like he's an absolute specimen. He's a monster of a character. He's got ignore dodge, he's got skill damage, bonus damage, he's got these crazy buffs with the heals, he's got really juicy chain hit damage, he's got it all. But by just giving him a rage over an energy, for example, we're not even talking about Reforged here, I have not pigeonholed him, but I have made him better for certain content and just average for other content. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. We're going to go back in time to, well, not back in time, but we're going to go back to stage 29 of Mephisto. I had previously cleared it with his leadership, Taskmaster, and Sif with about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. We're going to run through that same clear now with a CTP of Rage, and I'm going to talk about the differences in the playstyle, the similarities in the playstyle, and the final result. So first things first here, you can actually play Blade the exact same way. You can actually just cancel 3, cancel 4 into 5, and let 5 play all the way out, and then splash in 1 and 2, and then just dodge around and wait until there's about 1 second left on 5, and then you can just repeat it again, because he has so many hits on his skills. And because I believe Taskmaster is giving him guaranteed crit rate, you have a situation where you don't need to let the other skills play out to trigger his rage proc. So his rage proc activates very consistently, and it's basically to the point where you're good. Like, it almost seems like a proc. This is probably the latest that it's ever been, but the proc is basically never so late that I miss the sort of the first big burst damage on his tier 3. Like Hela, there's basically 2 waves of damage on his tier 3. There's the first wave with the shotguns, and then there's the second wave with some follow-up damage at the end when he sort of cleans his sword, which is an homage to the Wesley Snipes Blade movie. Now, we're not going to waste the tier 3 here because I don't believe we need to. I've practiced this quite a bit. But yeah, that's actually a way that you can play. You can like legitimately play Blade this way. One thing to also keep in mind is that when you do the co-op skill with Taskmaster, Blade will always do his accumulation skill. So now I'm going to showcase basically a different way of playing Blade, where we're going to let 4 play out, we're going to let 3 play out, and we also let 5 play out to an extent. And you can basically just get a little bit more burst damage, but you also have a bit more of a sort of awkward rotation because of the fact that you are sort of letting skills go back and forth. Now, okay, let's just see how this plays out. Nice, all right. I'm going to do a swap here to dodge this. Very good. But yeah, using the co-op skill is actually really nice because the 5th skill has a really long cooldown, and it's something that I noticed when I was playing him with a rage versus an energy, because with an energy, you're always just lining up every single proc. With a rage, you can let 4 play out and then splash in 5, but then what happens is on the follow-up rotation, your 4 might be ready, but your 5 certainly isn't. So you can use 1 and 2 to build up your tier 3. There's definitely ways of sort of maximizing your damage, but the thing is, versus World Boss Legend, it doesn't actually matter all that much. And you'll sort of see what I'm saying, because honestly, the timers are eerily similar. Eerily similar. That was a bit disappointing. We were just 1.5% off on the tier 3, so we had to waste the 5th skill, but it's okay. Okay, we should be able to tank that just fine, yeah. But yeah, so now we just have to kind of wait here because our 4th skill is not on cooldown. Again, we have that 1.5% missing. The burst damage is good though. Like, his burst damage is great. I'm just going to show you what ends up happening. You'll see. You'll see. But we're doing pretty good right now. Really nice, like 1 to 2 bars every single time. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay, did we get the tier 3 in? We did. I don't think we have the accumulation up anymore, so it's not going to do as much damage. All right. Yeah, we're just going to switch here. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate with the timing. If I had just been a little bit faster to execute the tier 3, I think I could have gotten a lot more burst damage, but it's okay. But, so yeah, you can let the 4 play out and then go into the 5. And you get, you know, better rotational damage. It just delays your tier 3. So it's sort of like a funny way of playing Blade, because your choices are, you know, play him the same way that you would with a proc, and then you just develop a you know, a rhythm where you have the tier 3 up for after every second rotation, or play him like a rage CTP would, where you sort of let skills play out to get their sort of maximum benefit. But then you end up delaying the tier 3 even further because you're letting skills play out and not, you know, going through. So this is actually a slower clear. The fastest, but that's sort of the cat's out of the bag now. He's slower with a rage than he was with a 180% damage proc obelisk. So it's not that Blade's bad whatsoever. It's just there's such a stark contrast between what a proc does and a rage does when you have a bunch of Pierce, specifically in World Boss Legend of Null and Mephisto. Now for Ultron, rage does seem to be better. It's quite a bit more balanced between energy, rage, and mighty destruction and judgment. So Blade can actually go all the way up to stage 19. I'll show you. I'll throw up a screenshot here where I cleared it with this team here with Wave and Taskmaster. He was able to do it. And for this particular World Boss Legend, I do feel that rage is a little bit more well suited. But again, you can play him almost exactly the same way, right? For the first half of the Mephisto fight, I played it exactly the same way, just 3 cancel 4 cancel 5, which is the same as you would with a proc obelisk or a CTP of energy or a mighty destruction. And he's actually slower. So again, if you're just going to use Blade for World Boss Legend and you have a 180 or a 200 proc obelisk, especially if it has 1 or 2 good stats, there's no point in giving him a rage. There's no point, because he's actually going to be slower or the same speed, but he's not going to get faster. So then why would you give him a rage? Well, that's what I said about niche, and that's what I said about, you know, they're sort of putting the CTPs at war with one another. You have to really think, where do I want to use this character, right? For what content is this character for? So I think for World Boss Legend Ultron, I think a rage is going to be better suited for him, especially because you're going to want to interrupt Ultron's optimization, and that's going to cause you to use skills outside of your rotation, which is better for a rage than it is for a proc. But for Null and Mephisto, by far an energy CTP is going to eclipse a rage big time. And then the last piece of content, besides something like Dispatch, I think Dispatch obviously benefits a rage more, but with Loki and Iron Man level 80, I'm not sure many people are going to get Blade for Dispatch. So the last piece of content then is Giant Boss Raid. And we've definitely seen a lot of evidence to say that Rage CTPs outperform other CTPs when it comes to Giant Boss Raid Dormammu content. So I'm not a big fan of the solo Dormammu content. I usually try to carry 2 players, but I'm gonna try a solo run here on the universal day. So I'm not gonna get the type advantage that you would on speed day, but I won't get a type disadvantage either. Let's see what Blade can do. All right, so here we go. I've never actually done a solo GBR, so this is going to be my first time. There's no damage meter on the side because I'm the only one doing damage, but we're gonna see here. We're gonna try, maybe for the first, I don't know if we want to do like the regular rotation or the sort of like rage rotation. Yeah, let's just see how it goes. We're gonna have this here, so we can skip 5. Nice, yeah, big damage here. Yeah, really nice stuff. We're gonna start that off, get the shotgun blast going, and then bada bing, bada boom. Very nice. Ooh, whoa, whoa, holy cow, Blade. Wow, I almost died. Holy, takes so much damage. And that's with Wave's damage reduction. Wow. That was a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So yeah, without the co-op skill here, like the you know, World Boss Legend co-op skill, we're not going to get to double dip on I need to be really careful here, so hang on the accumulation skill. I gotta wait for that purple skill to show up because I cannot afford to get hit by that unless I'm at max HP. Crazy, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't really seem better than his proc rotation. Again, I don't want to pop the tier 3 now because... Okay, that's pretty good. A minute and a half. That's pretty good. Now, I wonder, am I going to get sent to... Usually I switch here right at the beginning. Am I going to get sent to the Mindless Zone? No. Okay, yeah, sorry. I haven't watched or done any of the solo content myself. So, I wasn't sure if I was. But let's switch now to... oh, that damage is pretty good. Okay, let's switch now to the sort of proc rotation. Okay. Yeah. Takes so much damage, dude. Yeah, he's chugging along. He's chugging along. We just need to line up the... Okay. Yeah, because our rate... I guess not. Okay. Yeah, our insight is proccing, like, completely opposite to our rage. Yeah, there's no way that the... No, see, in this content here, it's definitely better to let the skills play out. But it's so funny how there's basically no difference for World Boss Legend because there's such a penalty for using rage CTPs versus like regular obelisks and, you know, regular procs and stuff like that. But here, it's so obvious that you're better off doing the full rotation and like getting the full, you know, scope of damage from the hits. Yeah. Again, just off by like 2%. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it's kind of bad timing because now we don't have the accumulation, so the tier 3 is doing less damage. But he pops off, dude. He pops off. Yeah, he does like just solid damage. Squeezing the... Oh, jeez. I thought I pressed the tier 3, dude. Yeah, not handling the tier 3s well right now. But, okay. What does he get for being able to solo this? This is a much better... Yeah. And then he's gonna boom. Yep. And then we can boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so you can kind of chain the end of the tier 3 into the next rotation. It's not the smoothest execution here, but it's pretty good. But that 4th skill, dude, hits like a truck. A little bit scared that we're going to take too much damage. Only had 1 second left on the accumulation, so... It still hits pretty hard, though. What's a good time for soloing Dormammu? I don't even know. Yeah. Okay, we want to wait here as long as we don't proc our... Oh my gosh, I was early again, dude. No way. You just have to wait like an extra 1.5 seconds or something like that? Crazy. Don't die, Blade. You must kill Morbius. It's a Morbius sweep. Yeah, I would love it if I could use, what's his name? If I could use Taskmaster to get that accumulation popping off. It's really nice in World Boss Legend when you can do that. But the healing is kind of slowing down. It's kind of scaring me here. Hello? Guess I gotta dodge these circles, eh? Ooh. Ooh. Bro, he yo-yos his HP. So he gets it done in about 6.5 minutes. Is that pretty good? I honestly don't know. I'm gonna have to check with beast mode, see how fast he cleared it solo. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that Dormammu gets another 50% HP, so he goes up from 1 billion to 1.5 billion. So I still think that this means that I still think this means that I could carry, right? Because if you do the calculation, I'm not gonna do the calculation here in the video, but if you do the math on how much damage I did per second, I think if I had teammates that just did just a little bit of damage, I think it would be fine. That's really impressive, but it's also simultaneously kind of frustrating that I gave him a CTP and he actually was as slow for World Boss Legend as he was with a 180 proc Obelisk. He's very proc friendly, which is nice, but it really hammers home the idea that now more than ever, you really have to think carefully what content you want the characters for. Some characters, it's just very obvious, like Loki. You want him for ABX and Dispatch, so you slap a Rage on him. Dimension Rifts, right? Whatever. For some characters, it's very obvious. But for other characters like Blade, who are very proc friendly, but also could make it work with a Rage, I definitely think that there's a bit more nuance to it, and it's a bit more dependent on what you want as a player. I think I'm going to go back to an Energy and see how high he can push World Boss Legend, just because having to give him 2 supports, I love using him with Taskmaster, but yeah, having to give him 2 supports kind of hurts. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Blade. Maybe there's like a Weapon Master World Boss Legend stage requirement or restriction that I should sort of be gearing him up for. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.